Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Bob Connor here, once again with another video. And today we're going to be checking out the Nintendo, uh, both Super Mario Bros. Live action movies that they've made. And this is I'm going to say current collection of obviously both movies that have been out. I was just going over, I don't know why, I know there's only two, but I was trying to see if there was actually another one made, but I don't think there was. Um, Obviously, so two in the collection, so I thought I'd do this because I've done the review. Make sure you check out the review on this. If you just want to see the review on this, check out the other video. I just did that, but I thought I just bought the old one so I could do a video of the collection of both movies if you wanted to check that out to just sort of like compare and talk a bit about both. So obviously Super Mario Bros. By Nintendo, massive, hugely popular and successful character, Super Mario, that everyone knows, so iconic and so fantastic and brilliant. Mario, probably the most popular Nintendo character of all time, to be honest. you know, yeah, I think he is, to be honest. Mario must be Nintendo's, because I think with Sega is probably Sonic maybe, and Nintendo's probably Mario, I guess. But yeah, massive, obviously popular, made loads of games. Can't remember how many games, but loads of games, Mario. And then obviously they decided to make two live action films of it. Now obviously there's a massive gap between 30 years. So the first one was 93, and the second one was just more recent, 2023. Been a long time. It's what the original one was out when I was a kid, when I was about 7 or 8. So I've got a huge nostalgia for this. I'd only just bought this on DVD. I'd seen it loads of times on TV. I never saw the original one at the cinema. I went to see it when it was on TV quite a few times. It was always fun to watch back in the day. Obviously they made the first one in '93. Coming off the back of a massive game franchise. Super Nintendo, Mario, and obviously making the film, and then obviously Super Mario Bros. They called it, the original motion picture. There's quite a few versions of this on DVD that you can get, and this is the copy that I got. It was only about a fiver, so not too bad. Usually they're a lot cheaper, the older ones, but this was a fiver. It might have been cheaper somewhere else, but I got it on eBay. And there's quite a few different covers. This is one of the main ones, but there's a few different covers. I thought to myself about getting one of the others or getting a few different ones, looking at a few different covers, but I don't know. I probably won't do that. But there's a few different covers, box covers, different images on the front. I think they're wearing Mario's distinctive red and Luigi's distinctive green on another version of the film, but I got this one anyway. And yeah, as I said, come out in 1993, and they decided to make it with people instead of like animated or done on a computer like they did the more recent one. Decided to do it with real people, which probably wasn't the best decision at the time, but they went with it. And obviously starring the late legendary Bob Hoskins and John. Now I can't pronounce his name, but I know him because he's been in loads of films, and he's sort of like comedy-ish. sort of character. I think he's been in a few TV shows as well, but he's been in loads of films. He's quite recognisable now. I think this was quite early on in his career because he's really young in this. I'm not sure how old exactly, about 30, it might even be 20 something, but he's quite young. I think Bob Hoskins was about 40 something or maybe 50 when he did this. I'm not too sure, but John was really young. But it's John Leguizamo. I think that's right. I'm not too sure, but anyway, obviously, so Bob's obviously playing Mario, and John's playing Luigi, and Dennis Hopper, the legendary Dennis Hopper, he's sadly gone as well now. So we've lost Bob and Dennis, two legendary actors, and obviously Dennis Hopper been in loads of films. She was in Texas Chainsaw 2, and loads of other films. I think he was in Waterworld as well, Kevin Costner. I think he was the villain in that. I'm trying to think. Yeah, obviously Bob Hoskins been in loads of films. Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Loads of other films. As I said, John's been in loads of stuff. Luigi, and Dennis Hopper's playing King Koopa, the villain. And there's a few other characters as well. Can't think off the top of my head, but those are the main three. So yeah, they decided to go with it being real people. And as I said, probably wasn't the best decision at the time, but seemed like a good idea. Because I think all these films where they were doing, most stuff was, big TV shows, and then they decided to make blockbusters out of all the franchises that there was at the time. Whether it be Mario, Peter Pan. They made everything into big blockbuster films, and this was no different. I mean, there wasn't all the things that they decided to make big blockbuster films out of. TV shows wasn't always successful, but they were good at, sounded like good ideas, and I do quite enjoy a lot of the stuff that they made into big box films because of a lot of the nostalgia, because a lot of them was released when I was younger, so I do enjoy a lot of the big box of film they made back in the day, and there's a lot of, I really enjoy them and a lot of fun, and I've got a lot of nostalgia. So going back to this, as I said, now, when it was released, it was quite exciting to see this, or to see that they made it. And I think everyone wanted to see it. I can't really remember too much because it was going back to '93, so it's 30 years ago. I was only about 7 or 8, so I can't remember too much. But I remember it being a big blockbuster film, and I wanted to see it. I never actually saw it at the cinema until it actually came out on TV. I'm sure I didn't see it until it was on TV, and then see it loads of times when it was on TV when I was younger. And then I only just bought the DVD just now and watched it again because I hadn't seen it in years. I can't remember how long ago it was I last watched it, but then I just watched it again and really enjoyed it, and it was so much fun. Lots of good memories of when I was younger, so much nostalgia from it, and it was really fun when I was watching it. But going back to the actual film, it was exciting, but unfortunately I don't think it did that well at the cinema. And it's actually, in terms of the film, it's pretty bad, I think, at the beginning. Because it didn't look, a lot of things they changed from the game. Like as I said, King Koopa, the villain, was supposed to be like looking like a full dinosaur, but they made him look more human-like. So that was the first thing that didn't look very good, and a lot of people weren't happy about that. I know you see dinosaurs like as troopers, in it, but they look massive. They're like massive dinosaurs in suits, which again didn't look good. And then sort of Mario and Luigi, obviously they're plumbers, but they're not in green and red until the end, where they sort of actually look more like Mario and Luigi. Which doesn't happen until right at the end. I spend most of the time just walking around in normal clothes or suits or different attires. So they don't actually look like Mario Antonelli. And there's a lot of things, yeah, they changed and didn't look good. And yeah, and I think, as I said, I think it was probably a box office bomb. Or didn't look very good at the time, and it wasn't good. But I think I actually remember it. I mean, when you was younger, you actually enjoyed these films. You didn't make. It's not like now. Uh, you know, it's not like now when we're all adults and we're making criticism and judging things, saying like, not that good and that. But back then, when you was, a kid, as I said, I was about 7 or 8, 30 years ago, and back then you sort of you don't make the criticism that you do today. Back then, you sort of just enjoyed it for what it was. And, if there was a massive film, you wouldn't say, "Oh, that was rubbish," or, I mean, some people might have done, but I don't think I did. I just think I enjoyed it for what it was, and I think you enjoyed the old one when it was on. I didn't say it was rubbish, or I just enjoyed it, to be honest, and had fun watching it. I know there was merchandise, there was figures that came out. I never was fortunate enough to get any of the figures, but I think I wanted them. There was so many figures back in the day that I wanted. Didn't get round to getting. I had loads of figures, but these I didn't get round to getting. I might actually do that on eBay. Actually, see, I'll probably won't get them. As I said, I never had them, and I'm probably unlikely to get them. But I might just have a look to see if they've actually got the figures on eBay, just to have a look. I'm probably never going to get them. Um, yeah. I mean, even if they had them at a car boot sale or something, I might pick them up if they were a fiver. But I'm not going to sort of go out on my way to try and get them. If I see them for like cheap price, I might pick them up. But I pretty much doubt that's going to happen. But I might just have a look to see if they've got them. Because I like going on and looking at the old figures to see if they've even got them, or just to do a search and see. Most of the time, I don't pick them up. I just look. Um, but so I never got the figures, but I know they had them. I'm not sure how the merchandise sold, but I'm guessing it sold quite a few. But yeah, going back to the film, it was they changed a lot, and it was judging it now, but I didn't back then. In terms of film, it's pretty bad. As I said, a lot of things they changed, and yeah, the storyline was all right, but not great. Um, but as I said, this is just judging it now from when it was back then. But as I said, back then when I was about 7 or 8, I actually did enjoy it, so I had no complaints then. But going back to it now, yeah, looking on it, it's not a great film. However, I did enjoy it when I just watched it recently, and I hadn't watched it for years. And it was really fun watching it. As I said, loads of nostalgia from when I used to watch it when I was younger, and it was actually quite fun. And actually, towards the end, it's actually quite fun, and it's quite a long, drawn out ending, which I quite like a long ending. I don't like the endings to be over in 5 or 10 minutes. I liked it a bit drawn out long. I think the ending was like 20 minutes overall, not too sure, something like that. But it sort of extends, it goes on a bit. So I do like a good ending and quite an epic sort of big finish, which this actually has got. So you have to give it credit for that. It's actually quite a big, fun finish that does pan out. I don't like a quick finish. I do like a long, more epic, drawn-out performance, and this actually is quite long, epic. So you actually has, and as I said, looking at it in terms of that, saying that it wasn't, the best film ever made, and they changed a lot of stuff. Now it's actually become more enjoyable and just, as I said, I just had lots of fun when I watched it, and I'm probably going to watch it again because I hadn't seen it in years at some stage. And it's just really fun, and I do like the end, and it just makes you smile rather than hating it. It's not a movie where you just hate. It's sort of you love it for all the wrong reasons. You like it for the nostalgia, and it's because it's fun. You don't sort of hate it because it's a bad movie. You just sort of like enjoy it, as I said, because it brings me like really good memories, and I think it's fun. Yeah, that's a lot to talk about on that. And obviously, I'm not going to talk much about the second one because I talked about it a lot on the review. But the second one, as I said, came out just recent, a few months ago, and then come out on DVD literally last week. And then I just grabbed it straight away. Usually I don't buy the DVDs full price. This was a tenner. I mean, well, a tenner doesn't seem like a lot, but usually I wait for it to drop down in price for it to about £8, £7. But I just wanted to get it because I wanted to see it and I wanted to compare and do the videos for both movies. And yeah, this is just really fun and really enjoyable. And in terms of movies, it is better because it looks like more Mario and how it should have been in the first place. But I don't think they could have pulled this off back then, to be honest, because that was '93. So I don't think this would have worked because a lot of the technology since '93 has got better, where they've managed to do better films and stuff. So I'm not sure how that would have looked back then if they'd have done that instead of being real people. But yeah, I mean, I would say in terms of a film, this is certainly better than the original because it looks better and it's more fun. However, '93 has got the more nostalgia, um, maybe more fun. I sort of just feel more comfortable and just relaxed when I'm watching older movies, if that makes sense. I just like, it's like, say for example, Hook, Peter Pan, Hook with Robin Williams. I just really love watching that. I try and watch that movie once a year because that's like one of my all-time childhood classic films to watch, Hook, and I just love it every time. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen Hook, I just love watching it time and time again. I try and watch it at least once a year if I can, um, and yeah, I never ever get tired of watching it, and I just feel so relaxed. I usually just sit up and put my feet up and watch an old film, and I just seem relaxed and chilled, and I just, when I'm feeling down, when I just watch one of these films, especially the older ones, I just really enjoy it and think about the time when I used to watch it when I was younger, and it really makes me feel relaxed, calm, and I just really enjoy it. Um, yeah, as I said. So, guys, I think that's going to be enough. I don't want to bore you with any more chat. Um, if, for example, I'm just giving you an example, if you don't like my voice or you think I'm too boring, feel free to watch these videos with the sound off if you want. You don't have to listen to me. You can watch them without the sound. It's up to you. Or if you want to hear me talk about them, it's up to you. I don't mind whatever you feel you want to do. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos and let me know your comments and thoughts. Maybe you're similar age to me, like